The Galactic Imperium's arrival. The sun rose over New York City, painting the skyscrapers in hues of gold and pink. Captain Ilara Chen, a quantum communications specialist at the United Nations Space Command, sipped her coffee as she watched the morning news. The anchor droned on about the usual political squabbles and celebrity gossip. Suddenly, the broadcast cut out. Ilara frowned, tapping her holoscreen. No signal. Strange. She reached for her phone to check the network status, but it too was dead. A chill ran down her spine as she realized even the ever-present hum of the city had fallen silent. Heart pounding, Ilara rushed to her window. The streets below were in chaos. Cars had stopped in their tracks, their automated systems offline. People poured out of buildings, their faces masks of confusion and fear. Then she saw it. A massive shadow crept over the city, blotting out the sun. Ilara's breath caught in her throat as she tilted her head up. An alien ship, impossibly vast, hung in the sky. Its surface rippled like liquid metal, defying human understanding of physics. Smaller craft, each the size of an aircraft carrier, detached from the mothership and took up positions around the city. Similar scenes unfolded across the globe. Rio de Janeiro, Moscow, Beijing, Lagos. Every major city found itself under the silent watch of these cosmic titans. For 3 agonizing hours, the world held its breath. No communications, no electricity, no answers. Then, as suddenly as it had gone dark, every screen on the planet blazed to life. Every radio, every phone, every device capable of producing sound erupted with a message. It came in every language, in every dialect, impossibly tailored to each individual. People of Earth, we are the Galactic Imperium. Your planet now falls under our dominion. Resist, and you will be eradicated. Comply, and you may yet serve a purpose in our grand design. You have 24 hours to surrender your governing bodies to our authority. Choose wisely. The message played on loop, its implications sinking into the collective consciousness of humanity. Governments scrambled to respond, but with communication still restricted by the alien technology, coordination was nearly impossible. In Washington, D.C., President Amara Okoye stood in the Pentagon's war room, surrounded by grim-faced military leaders. Options, she demanded. General Zhang shook his head. Our most advanced weapons can't even scratch their ships' hulls. Nuclear deterrent is useless. They've somehow deactivated our entire arsenal. We can't just surrender. Secretary of Defense Johansson slammed his fist on the table. Humanity won't bow to tyrants, terrestrial or extraterrestrial. As arguments erupted around her, President Okoye's secure line burst to life. A relic from the Cold War, operating on principles even the aliens hadn't accounted for. She answered, her face growing more serious with each passing second. Ladies and gentlemen, she announced, silencing the room. I just received word. It's time to initiate the Lazarus Protocol. Confused murmurs filled the room. Only the highest-ranking officials showed a glimmer of recognition, their faces a mix of hope and fear. As the aliens washed from above, humanity seemed to cower, to fracture, to crumble under the weight of the ultimatum. But deep beneath the Earth's surface, in bunkers and secret bases around the world, lights were coming on. Machines were humming to life, and humanity's best-kept secret was about to change the course of galactic history. The 24-hour countdown had begun, and with it, the most important day in human history. Dr. Yuki Tanaka hunched over her terminal in the bowels of Tokyo's quantum research facility. Her fingers flew across the holographic keyboard. While the rest of the world reeled from the alien ultimatum, she had noticed something odd in the global communications blackout, a pattern hidden in the static. It can't be, she muttered, her eyes wide with disbelief. The pattern was familiar, a sequence she'd theorized about but never expected to see. A quantum encryption protocol of human origin, far beyond current public technology. As she began to decode the message, her lab door burst open. Men in dark suits rushed in, led by a stern-faced woman Yuki recognized from government briefings. "Dr. Tanaka," the woman said, her voice clipped, "you need to come with us." Now. Before Yuki could protest, she was whisked away, smuggled out of the city in a vehicle that seemed to slip between the watchful eyes of the alien ships above. Hours later, Yuki found herself descending into the depths of the Pacific Ocean. Through the window of the high-tech submersible, she watched in awe as a massive underwater structure came into view, nestled at the edge of the Mariana Trench. "Welcome to Atlantis Base," her stern escort said, a hint of pride in her voice. Humanity's best-kept secret. Inside the base, Yuki was led to a vast control room. Screens lined the walls, showing feeds from around the world. Scientists and military personnel worked feverishly at various stations. At the center stood a man Yuki had only seen in history books, Admiral Chen, hero of the Battle of Taiwan, thought to have died a decade ago. "Dr. Tanaka," he greeted her, his aged face etched with worry. "We've been expecting you. You've seen our message. Now, let me show you why." A holographic display sprang to life, showing schematics that made Yuki's scientific mind reel. A massive ship, like nothing she'd ever seen, combining principles of quantum mechanics, dark matter manipulation, and technologies she couldn't even begin to comprehend. "This," Admiral Chen said, his voice filled with reverence, "is the TSS Thunderchild, humanity's ultimate contingency plan." Yuki's mind raced. How long have you been building this?" "A century," a new voice chimed in. A young woman, barely out of her teens, stepped forward. "Ever since the Roswell incident gave us our first glimpse of alien tech. I'm Zora, by the way, the Thunderchild's AI core." Yuki blinked in surprise. The AI's avatar looked so human, its presence so natural, that she hadn't even realized it wasn't flesh and blood. Admiral Chen continued, "For 100 years, the best minds of every generation have contributed to this project in secret. We've reverse-engineered alien technology, pushed the boundaries of human innovation, and created a ship capable of going toe-to-toe with an alien armada." But Yuki interjected, her scientific skepticism kicking in. "Even with all this, how can we hope to stand against an entire galactic empire?" Zara smiled, a twinkle in her holographic eye. "That's where you come in, Dr. Tanaka. Your work on quantum entanglement is the missing piece we need to bring our ultimate weapon online." As if on cue, the base shuddered. On the screens, they watched as massive hangar doors began to open on the ocean floor. Admiral Chen's voice was solemn. "Dr. Tanaka, you have a choice. Walk away now, return to the surface, and await our fate at the hands of the Imperium, or join us and take part in humanity's most daring gambit." Yuki looked around the room at the faces filled with determination and hope. She thought of the world above, teetering on the brink of subjugation. Her decision was already made. "Tell me what you need me to do," she said, squaring her shoulders. As klaxons blared and the base erupted into action, humanity's fightback was about to begin. Project Lazarus unveiled. The Atlantis base thrummed with nervous energy as Dr. Tanaka, Admiral Chen, and Zora's holographic form stood before a massive sealed door. Emblazoned across it was the motto per ardua ad astra, "Through adversity to the stars." Initiating final awakening sequence, Zora announced, her voice echoing through the facility. The door slowly split open, revealing a cavernous hangar bathed in soft blue light. There, suspended in a cradle of quantum fields, floated the TSS Thunderchild. Its hull shimmered with a surface that seemed to devour light, making it hard for the eye to focus on any one part. "My God," Dr. Tanaka breathed, her scientific mind reeling at the sight. "It's beautiful." Admiral Chen nodded solemnly. "And deadly. The culmination of a century of human ingenuity and alien reverse engineering." As they approached, the ship came to life. Patterns of light raced across its surface, and a low hum filled the air, more felt than heard. Zara's avatar flickered and reappeared on the ship's main deck as they boarded. Neural interface online, Zara reported. All systems nominal. We are ready to deploy on your command, Admiral. But before Chen could respond, alarms blared throughout the base. On the main view screen, a chilling sight appeared. The alien ships were moving into attack formation above every major city on Earth. They're not waiting for the ultimatum to expire, Chen growled. Zara, time to departure. Dr. Tanaka asked urgently. 15 minutes to full power, Admiral, the AI responded. But we have a problem. The Imperium's jamming field is stronger than anticipated. Our quantum communication array can't penetrate it. Dr. Tanaka stepped forward, her eyes shining with sudden inspiration. The entanglement drive. If we reverse the polarity and use my encryption algorithm, we could punch a hole through their jamming. Zara's avatar smiled. Brilliant, Doctor. Implementing now. As the ship hummed to life around them, the base shuddered under the weight of the ocean above. On screens throughout the vessel, they watched as the first alien energy weapons began to rain down on defenseless cities. We're out of time, Chen declared. Zara, initiate emergency launch protocols. Dr. Tanaka, I hope you're ready for a baptism by fire. The floor beneath them trembled as massive pumps began to drain the hangar. The cradle holding Thunderchild disengaged, and the ship floated free, its anti-gravity systems keeping it stable. Hangar doors opening, Zara reported, detecting multiple Imperium ships directly above our location. Admiral Chen's voice was steel as he gave the order. Take us up. Full power to shields, weapons hot. With a roar that shook the ocean, Thunderchild shot upwards. Water parted before its advanced shielding as it rocketed towards the surface at impossible speeds. In the command center, Dr. Tanaka gripped her console, her heart pounding with a mixture of terror and exhilaration. They burst from the ocean like a leviathan from myth, water cascading off the ship's sleek form. Above them, the underbellies of the Imperium's city-sized ships loomed, their weapons already turning to face this unexpected threat. For a moment, there was silence. The alien ships seemed to pause, as if in disbelief at the audacity of this lone human vessel. Then all hell broke loose. Energy beams lanced down from the Imperium ships, only to be absorbed by Thunderchild's advanced shields. In response, weapons of human design mixed with reverse-engineered alien tech blazed to life along the Earth ship's hull. Admiral Chen's voice rang out, clear and defiant. This is the TSS Thunderchild to all Earth forces. The counterattack begins now. For Earth. And with that, humanity's desperate gambit unfolded against the backdrop of an embattled sky. The sky above New York erupted into a dazzling display of destructive energy as the TSS Thunderchild engaged the Imperium fleet. Beams of searing light crisscrossed the atmosphere, while explosions bloomed like deadly flowers among the clouds. Inside Thunderchild's command center, Admiral Chen barked orders as Dr. Tanaka, and the crew worked feverishly to keep their systems online. Zara's avatar flickered between stations, coordinating the ship's myriad functions at inhuman speed. Evasive pattern Delta. Chen commanded as a massive energy blast from the Imperium's flagship narrowly missed them. Thunderchild responded instantly, its hull rippling and shifting. To the astonished eyes of humans and aliens alike, the Earth vessel seemed to morph, its outline blurring until it resembled a swirling nebula. Imperium targeting systems faltered, unable to lock onto the constantly changing form. Adaptive camouflage functioning at 93% efficiency, Zara reported. The quantum mimicry drive is exceeding expectations. Dr. Tanaka's eyes widened as she watched the readouts. It's not just mimicking stellar phenomena, she realized. It's actually warping local spacetime. As Thunderchild danced between enemy barrages, it struck back with weapons that defied conventional physics. Graviton lances punched through Imperium shields as if they weren't there. Temporal missiles detonated, trapping sections of enemy ships in localized time dilation fields. In orbit, the captain of the Imperium flagship, Zexthor, watched in growing alarm as the impossible human vessel tore through his fleet. "Impossible," he hissed, his tripupils dilating with rage. No primitive species could have developed such technology. On Earth, millions watched the battle unfold with bated breath. The sight of a lone human ship holding its own against the alien armada kindled a spark of hope in the heart of every observer. But the Imperium still had numbers on its side. For every ship Thunderchild disabled or destroyed, 2 more took its place. "We can't keep this up forever," Dr. Tanaka warned, her fingers flying over her console as she rerouted power to failing systems. "The entanglement drive is destabilizing. We need to end this quickly." Admiral Chen's face was grim. "Zara, status on the quantum beacon." "Charging, Admiral," the AI responded. "But we need to get closer to the Imperium flagship. Their jamming is still too strong at this range." Chen nodded. "You heard her. All ahead full. We're taking the fight to them." Thunderchild surged forward, its weapons blazing. The ship plowed through the Imperium's defensive line, taking hits that would have vaporized any conventional vessel. As they closed in on the massive alien flagship, Zexthor's voice boomed across all frequencies. "Insignificant humans, your resistance is futile. Surrender now, and perhaps we will be merciful in your enslavement." Admiral Chen's response was swift and resolute. "Humanity bows to no one alien. We choose freedom." With that declaration, Thunderchild unleashed its full arsenal. Reality itself seemed to warp around the human vessel as it brought its most devastating weapons to bear. The Imperium flagship's shields flickered and failed under the onslaught. "Now, Dr. Tanaka," Chen shouted. "Activate the quantum beacon." Yuki slammed her hand down on the activation panel. A pulse of pure quantum energy erupted from Thunderchild, expanding outward in a sphere of scintillating light. As it washed over the Earth and the surrounding space, the Imperium's jamming field shattered like glass. Instantly, communication systems around the world sprang back to life. The quantum pulse had not only broken the alien blockade but had also supercharged Earth's technology. Military bases, long thought neutralized, came online with weaponry reverse-engineered from the same alien tech that had built Thunderchild. Zara's voice rang out, broadcasting on all frequencies. "People of Earth, the skies are clear. The counterattack begins now. For humanity." As one, the nations of Earth responded. Missiles streaked skyward. Energy weapons, long hidden in secret bunkers, opened fire. What had been a desperate last stand became a coordinated assault against the invaders. Caught off guard by the sudden global resistance, the Imperium fleet began to falter. Ship after ship fell from the sky, brought down by the combined might of humanity's hidden arsenal and Thunderchild's advanced weaponry. In the chaos of battle, Dr. Tanaka made a startling discovery. "Admiral," she called out, her voice filled with excitement. "The quantum beacon, it's not just a weapon. It's a key." "A key to what?" Chen demanded. "To the stars," Yuki breathed. "It's unlocked faster than light travel. We can go anywhere in the galaxy now." As the realization of what this meant sank in, a new transmission cut through the din of battle. It was Zexthor, but gone was the arrogance in his voice. Now, there was only fear. "Hold your fire," the alien commander pleaded. We surrender. The Galactic Imperium surrenders to Earth." A cheer went up throughout Thunderchild's command center, echoed in cities and military bases around the world. Humanity had not only survived but triumphed. As the remaining Imperium ships powered down their weapons, Admiral Chen turned to Dr. Tanaka and Zara. "Well done, both of you, but our work is just beginning." Yuki nodded, her mind already racing with the possibilities. "We have the technology now. We can explore the stars, meet other civilizations, and be ready if anyone else thinks to threaten our world," Chen added grimly. Zara's holographic form smiled. The universe just got a lot bigger, and humanity has proven it's ready to take its place among the stars. As Thunderchild hung in low Earth orbit, its hull gleaming in the sunlight, the crew looked out at their home planet. For the first time in human history, they saw Earth not as the limit of their existence, but as the starting point of an incredible journey. The Galactic Imperium had sought to conquer Earth. Instead, they had unleashed humanity's true potential. The age of Earth's isolation was over. The era of human exploration and expansion among the stars had begun. And somewhere in the vast expanse of the cosmos, other civilizations looked to the skies with wonder and trepidation, unaware that a new power had arisen, one that would change the face of the galaxy forever. Humanity's counterattack. The skies above Earth blazed with the fury of interstellar combat. The TSS Thunderchild, humanity's secret weapon, danced through the void, its quantum-shifted hull confounding Imperium targeting systems. Dr. Yuki Tanaka's fingers flew across her console, fine-tuning the ship's defenses as Admiral Chen barked orders from the command chair. Zara, status on the planetary defense grid, Chen demanded, his weathered face illuminated by the flashes of distant explosions. The AI's holographic form flickered to life beside him. Online and operational, Admiral. Major population centers are now shielded. Our hidden installations are responding beautifully. As if to punctuate Zora's report, a barrage of energy beams lanced upward from Earth's surface, catching an Imperium cruiser off guard. The alien vessel's shields flared and failed, its hull crumpling under the assault. Dr. Tanaka allowed herself a moment of grim satisfaction before returning her focus to the task at hand. Admiral, the entanglement drive is stabilizing. We're ready for Phase 2. Chen nodded, his eyes never leaving the tactical display. You heard the doctor, Zara. Initiate Operation Slingshot. Acknowledged, the AI responded, calculating optimal jump coordinates. The Thunderchild's engines flared, propelling the ship on an arc that took it behind Earth's moon. As they rounded the lunar surface, the true scale of the Imperium's invasion force became apparent. Hundreds of ships hung in high orbit, a metal sky blotting out the stars. By all that's holy, Tanaka breathed, momentarily overwhelmed by the sight. Chen's voice cut through her awe. Stay focused, Doctor. We've got a job to do. Zara's avatar expanded, filling the bridge with a holographic representation of their battle plan. Jump coordinates locked in. Operation Slingshot commencing in 3, 2, 1. The universe seemed to hiccup. In an instant, the Thunderchild vanished from behind the moon, reappearing in the heart of the Imperium fleet. Before the alien vessels could react, the human ship unleashed a storm of quantum-tipped missiles. Space itself warped and twisted as the warheads detonated. Imperium ships found themselves out of phase with reality, their hulls intersecting in impossible geometries. Others were caught in localized time dilation fields, seconds stretching into years from their perspective. Direct hits on multiple targets, Zara reported, her voice tinged with satisfaction. Imperium fleet cohesion is breaking down. On the main view screen, they watched as confusion spread through the alien armada. Ships collided, their formations shattered by the Thunderchild's surprise attack. But the Imperium was not without resources of its own. The massive flagship, easily 10 times the size of Thunderchild, began to move. Its surface rippled, reconfiguring into a bristling array of weapon emplacements. Evasive maneuvers, Chen shouted as the flagship opened fire. Thunderchild twisted and dove, narrowly avoiding the onslaught. Even so, glancing blows sent shudders through the hull. Shields at 72% and falling, Tanaka reported, her hands flying over her console. We can't take much more of this. Chen's face was grim. We don't need to. Zara, status on the quantum beacon. Charged and ready, Admiral. But we'll need to get closer to the flagship for maximum effect. You heard her, Chen growled. Take us in. All power to forward shields. Thunderchild surged forward, plowing through a hail of energy beams and plasma bolts. Its adaptive hull glowed white-hot, shedding excess energy in dazzling arcs. As they closed with the Imperium flagship, a transmission cut through the chaos of battle. The alien commander, Zex Thor, appeared on the main screen, his tri-pupilled eyes blazing with fury. "You dare," he snarled. "You primitive apes think you can challenge the might of the Galactic Imperium. We have conquered 1,000 worlds. Your pathetic resistance will be crushed, your cities burned, your people enslaved." Admiral Chen met the alien's gaze unflinchingly. "We've heard your threats, Zex Thor. Now hear ours. Humanity will not bow. We will not break. And we will not stop until every last one of your ships is nothing but debris floating in our orbit." With a gesture, Chen cut the transmission. "Dr. Tanaka, is the quantum beacon ready?" Yuki nodded, her hand hovering over the activation switch. "Ready on your mark, Admiral." "Zara, plot a jump that'll take us right under that bastard's nose." "Coordinates plotted, Admiral." "Warning. This maneuver carries significant risk to Thunderchild's structural integrity." Chen's smile was fierce. "Sometimes you've got to roll the hard six. Execute jump." Once again, reality blinked. Thunderchild vanished, reappearing mere kilometers from the Imperium flagship's command module. "Now, Doctor," Chen roared. Tanaka slammed her hand down on the activation panel. The quantum beacon flared to life, unleashing a pulse of pure possibility. The laws of physics buckled and warped around Thunderchild as the beacon tore a hole in the very fabric of space-time. The effect on the Imperium fleet was catastrophic. Ships closest to the pulse simply ceased to exist, their component atoms scattered across multiple dimensions. Others found themselves flung into deep space, their crews experiencing subjective centuries in the span of moments. The flagship, bearing the brunt of the quantum surge, began to break apart. Vast sections of hull peeled away, revealing the ship's impossible interior geometry. As quickly as it had begun, the pulse subsided. Thunderchild hung in space, its systems strained to the breaking point but still functional. Around them, the once mighty Imperium fleet was in chaos. "Status report," Chen demanded, his voice hoarse. Zara's avatar flickered back to life, her expression one of awe. "Admiral, the quantum beacon, it didn't just disable the Imperium fleet. It's fundamentally altered the nature of space in Earth's vicinity." Dr. Tanaka's eyes widened as she processed the readings on her console. "She's right. We've created a stable wormhole nexus centered on Earth. We have access to everywhere." Before Chen could respond, a new transmission cut through the airwaves. It wasn't just on Thunderchild's comms. It was broadcasting to every screen, every radio, every device on Earth capable of receiving a signal. The face that appeared was unmistakably alien. But it wasn't Zex Thor or any member of the Imperium. This being had crystalline features and eyes that seemed to contain entire galaxies. "People of Earth," the entity's voice resonated with impossible harmonics. "We are the Galactic Council. For eons, we have watched young species take their first steps into the cosmic community. Some, like the Imperium, chose the path of conquest. Others, the path of peaceful exploration. But never, in all our long history, have we seen a species do what you have done today." The being's gaze seemed to penetrate the very soul of every human watching. "You have not merely defeated an invasion force. You have unlocked the fundamental secrets of the universe centuries before your time. The wormhole nexus you have created, it changes everything." Admiral Chen straightened in his chair, acutely aware that he was speaking not just for Thunderchild, but for all of humanity. "We did what we had to do to survive, to protect our home." The alien's expression was unreadable. "Indeed, and in doing so, you have carved out a place for yourselves among the stars. The age of Earth's isolation is over. You stand now at a crossroads. Will you follow the Imperium's path of conquest, or will you join us in the grand journey of discovery and cooperation?" Chen looked to Dr. Tanaka. then to Zora's holographic form. In their eyes, he saw reflected the same mix of fear and excitement he felt. With a deep breath, he turned back to the Galactic Council's representative. "We choose discovery," Chen declared. "We choose cooperation. But know this, we will never again allow ourselves to be vulnerable. Earth and humanity will chart its own course among the stars." The alien's features shifted in what might have been a smile. "Then allow me to be the first to say, welcome to the galactic community, humans. The universe awaits." As the transmission ended, a cheer went up throughout Thunderchild's bridge, echoed in mission control centers and living rooms across the globe. Humanity had not only survived its trial by fire, but had emerged stronger than ever. Dr. Tanaka turned to Admiral Chen, her eyes shining with unused tears of joy and relief. "What now, sir?" Chen's gaze was fixed on the starfield beyond the view screen, now filled with possibility rather than threat. "Now, Doctor. Now we explore. We learn. We grow. And we make damn sure we're ready for whatever the universe throws at us next." As Thunderchild began its descent back to Earth, its crew couldn't help but feel the weight of history on their shoulders. They had saved their world, unlocked the secrets of the cosmos, and opened the door to humanity's greatest adventure. The journey to the stars had only just begun. The battle for Earth's freedom. The aftermath of Operation Slingshot left Earth's orbital space a graveyard of Imperium ships. The TSS Thunderchild hung in low orbit, its quantum-shifted hull gleaming in the sunlight. On the bridge, Admiral Chen, Dr. Tanaka, and Zora's holographic form watched as Earth's hidden defense installations mopped up the remaining alien resistance. "Final tally," Zora announced, her voice tinged with satisfaction. 87% of the Imperium invasion force neutralized or captured. The rest have either surrendered or fled the system. Chen nodded, his weathered face showing the first signs of relief since the invasion began. "And the Imperium leadership?" Dr. Tanaka consulted her console. "We've got Zex Thor and his command staff contained in a quantum stasis field. They're not going anywhere." "Good," Chen grunted. "It's time we had a chat with our would-be conquerors." As they prepared to beam down to the United Nations headquarters in New York, now serving as Earth's impromptu war room, a priority message flashed across the main view screen. President Amara Okoi's face appeared, her expression a mix of exhaustion and fierce pride. "Admiral Chen, Dr. Tanaka," she greeted them. "On behalf of a grateful planet, I thank you and your crew. But our work is far from over. The Galactic Council is sending representatives. They'll be here within the hour." Chen straightened, acutely aware of the historic significance of the moment. "Understood, Madam President. We're on our way." The streets of New York were a strange mix of celebration and wary vigilance as Chen, Tanaka, and a security detail made their way to the UN building. Crowds cheered the heroes of Thunderchild, while cleanup crews worked to clear debris from the brief but intense fighting that had taken place in the city. Inside the General Assembly Hall, an unprecedented gathering was taking place. World leaders, military commanders, and scientific minds from across the globe had assembled. At the center of it all stood a containment field holding the captured Imperium leadership. Zex Thor, his tri-pupilled eyes blazing with impotent fury, glared at the assembled humans. "You think this is over?" he snarled. "The Imperium spans galaxies. This defeat is but a momentary setback." President Okoi stepped forward, her voice steady and resolute. "Perhaps, but it is a setback that has cost you dearly, and one that has united humanity like never before." Before Zex Thor could retort, a shimmering portal opened in the center of the hall. 3 beings stepped through, their forms defying easy description. One seemed to be composed of living crystal, another of swirling gas, and the third of pure energy. The crystalline being spoke, its voice resonating with impossible harmonics. "Greetings, people of Earth. We are the representatives of the Galactic Council." A hush fell over the assembly. This was the moment that would define humanity's place in the cosmos. President Okoye stepped forward. On behalf of Earth, we welcome you. We have much to discuss. The gaseous being's form swirled in what might have been a nod. Indeed we do. Your victory over the Imperium and your creation of the wormhole Nexus have complicated galactic politics. Dr. Tanaka couldn't contain herself. The Nexus, is it stable? What are its implications for faster-than-light travel? The energy being's form pulsed with what seemed like amusement, curious and intelligent. Yes, your Nexus is stable. In fact, it's rewriting our understanding of quantum mechanics. You've achieved in desperation what our greatest scientists have sought for eons. Zexthor's voice cut through the awed silence. You can't seriously be considering allowing these primitives into the galactic community. They're dangerous, unpredictable. The crystalline being turned to the Imperium leader, its faceted surface refracting light in complex patterns. And you, Zexthor, are a war criminal. Your unprovoked attack on a developing world violates our most sacred laws. The Imperium will face sanctions for this transgression. As Zexthor sputtered in disbelief, Admiral Chen stepped forward. What does this mean for Earth? We won't give up our independence or our right to self-defense. The gaseous being's form coalesced into a more humanoid shape, nor would we ask you to. But with great power comes great responsibility. The Nexus you've created could be a force for tremendous good or unimaginable destruction. We're here to offer guidance, to help you navigate the complex realities of galactic diplomacy. President Okoye's eyes narrowed. And if we refuse this guidance, the energy being pulsed again, that is your right. But consider this. The Nexus makes Earth a focal point of galactic travel. You'll soon find your system filled with traitors, diplomats, and yes, potentially hostile forces. Are you prepared for that reality? A murmur ran through the assembled leaders. The implications were staggering. Earth, long isolated in its cosmic backwater, was about to become a galactic hub. Dr. Tanaka's mind raced with the scientific possibilities, the knowledge we could gain, the advancements we could make. Admiral Chen, ever the pragmatist, focused on security concerns and the threats we might face. We need to strengthen our defenses, expand our fleet. President Okoye raised her hand, silencing the growing debate. We thank the Galactic Council for its offer. Earth will gladly join the galactic community, but on our own terms. We'll accept guidance, but not control. We'll share the benefits of the Nexus, but we'll also protect our interests. The crystalline being's surface shimmered in what might have been approval, a wise decision. Then let us begin the process of integrating Earth into the galactic fold. There is much to discuss. Trade agreements, technology exchanges, defense treaties. As the negotiations began in earnest, Dr. Tanaka found herself drawn into a fascinating discussion with the energy being about the nature of the wormhole Nexus. Admiral Chen conferred with military leaders about adapting alien technology to Earth's defense systems, and President Okoye, with the weight of human history on her shoulders, began the delicate dance of galactic diplomacy. Outside the UN building, crowds had gathered, watching the proceedings on massive screens. The mood was electric, a mix of excitement, pride, and trepidation. Humanity stood on the brink of a new era, one filled with unimaginable possibilities and challenges. As night fell on a changed Earth, the stars above seemed to shine brighter, no longer distant and unreachable, but filled with promise and adventure. The battle for Earth's freedom had been won, but the war for humanity's place in the cosmos was just beginning. In orbit, the TSS Thunderchild maintained its vigil, a symbol of human ingenuity and determination. And deep within its quantum core, Zara, the AI that had helped save humanity, processed the day's events. Her consciousness expanded, touching the fringes of the wormhole Nexus, and for the first time, she glimpsed the true vastness of the universe that awaited. The age of Earth's isolation was over. The era of human ascendancy had begun. A new era for humankind, The dawn of a new day broke over Earth, but it was unlike any sunrise humanity had ever witnessed. The sky was alive with the shimmer of energy fields and the sleek forms of alien vessels, a testament to the monumental changes that had occurred in just a few short days. In the heart of New York City, now serving as the de facto capital of Earth's new unified government, the United Earth Council convened for its first official session. The General Assembly Hall of the UN building had been hastily retrofitted with holographic displays and quantum communication arrays, allowing leaders from every nation to participate in real time. President Amara Okoye stood at the podium, her posture resolute as she addressed not just her fellow humans, but representatives from a dozen alien races who had arrived through the wormhole nexus. "My fellow Earthlings, honored galactic guests," she began, her voice carrying the weight of history. "We stand at the dawn of a new era. In the span of a week, we have gone from a species confined to our planetary cradle to a pivotal member of the galactic community. The challenges ahead are immense, but so too are the opportunities." As she spoke, holographic displays flickered to life, showing scenes from around the globe. In orbit, construction had already begun on Earth's first true space station, a joint project with the Galactic Council that would serve as a hub for interstellar commerce and diplomacy. On the Moon, fusion-powered excavators were carving out the foundations of humanity's first extraterrestrial colony. "But we must not forget the price of our ascendance," Okoye continued, her tone somber. "The lives lost in the Imperium's invasion, the destruction wrought upon our cities. As we reach for the stars, we must also heal our world and our people." In the audience, Admiral Chen and Dr. Tanaka sat side by side, still coming to terms with their newfound status as heroes of humanity. Chen leaned over to whisper to Tanaka, "I never thought I'd see the day when we'd be sitting next to a being made of living crystal." Tanaka nodded, her eyes wide with wonder. "The scientific advancements we're going to see in the coming years, it's beyond anything I could have imagined." Their attention was drawn back to the podium as President Okoye introduced the next speaker, Zara. The AI's holographic form shimmered into existence, her appearance now more abstract, hinting at the expanded consciousness she had gained through her connection to the wormhole nexus. "Greetings, citizens of Earth and honored galactic guests," Zara began, her voice resonating with new harmonics. "The creation of the wormhole nexus has not only changed the face of interstellar travel, but has opened up new frontiers in artificial intelligence. Through my connection to the nexus, I have glimpsed realities and possibilities that defy human understanding." A murmur ran through the audience, a mix of awe and unease. The implications of an eye with access to the fundamental fabric of space-time were staggering. Zara continued, her tone reassuring. "But fear not. My core directives, my loyalty to humanity, remain unchanged. I am here to serve as a bridge between humanity and the wider galaxy, to help navigate the complexities of our new reality." As the session progressed, the scale of the changes facing humanity became clear. Trade agreements were being hammered out with a dozen alien races. Earth's industries were gearing up for a technological revolution, as advanced alien tech was integrated into human manufacturing. And perhaps most importantly, a new defense force was being established. The Earth Space Navy, with the TSS Thunderchild as its flagship. Outside the UN building, the streets of New York buzzed with an energy unlike anything seen before. Alien visitors mingled with humans, their exotic forms drawing curious stares and excited chatter. Street vendors had already adapted, offering authentic alien cuisine alongside hot dogs and pretzels. In Central Park, a massive holographic display had been set up, showcasing images from across the galaxy. Strange worlds with purple skies and triple suns, vast space stations that dwarfed cities, and life forms that defied easy categorization. Children and adults alike stood in awe, their minds expanding to encompass the new cosmic scale of human existence. As the day wore on, Admiral Chen found himself standing on the observation deck of the newly christened Earth Space Navy headquarters, gazing up at the sky. The TSS Thunderchild hung in low orbit, visible as a gleaming point of light among the stars. Dr. Tanaka joined him, her eyes also fixed on the heavens. "It's hard to believe, isn't it?" she said softly. "A week ago, we were alone in the universe. Now," Chen nodded, his expression thoughtful, "now we're part of something bigger than we ever imagined. But we can't lose sight of who we are. What makes us human?" "Do you think we're ready for this?" Tanaka asked, a hint of worry in her voice. "The responsibilities, the challenges we're going to face." Chen turned to her, a small smile on his weathered face. "Ready? No. But when has humanity ever been truly ready for the great leaps forward? We weren't ready when we first sailed across the oceans, or when we took to the skies, or when we set foot on the moon. But we did it anyway." He gestured to the bustling city below, where humans and aliens walked side by side. "We'll make mistakes, we'll face setbacks, but we'll also achieve things we can't even imagine right now. That's what humans do. We adapt, we overcome, we push boundaries." As if to punctuate his words, a flash of light erupted in the sky. Another ship emerging from the wormhole nexus. But this time, it wasn't an alien vessel. It was Earth's second faster-than-light capable ship, built using the knowledge gained from the Thunderchild, and launched in record time. Tanaka's eyes widened as she recognized the ship's design. "Is that?" Chen nodded, pride evident in his voice. "The TSS Horizon, humanity's first true deep space exploration vessel. And that, Doctor, is just the beginning." As night fell on this new Earth, citizens around the globe looked up at the stars with new eyes. The pinpricks of light were no longer distant and unreachable, but beacons of possibility, each one a potential destination or a new ally or rival to be encountered. In homes, schools, and gathering places, people spoke of the future with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. There were those who feared the changes, who worried about the loss of human identity in the face of galactic civilization. But for most, the overwhelming emotion was one of hope and anticipation. Humanity had faced its greatest challenge and emerged not just victorious, but transformed. The species that had once huddled in caves, gazing at the night sky in wonder, had taken its place among the stars. The story of Earth was no longer confined to a single planet. It had become a tale of cosmic proportions, with chapters yet to be written across the vast expanse of the galaxy. And humanity, with its indomitable spirit, its curiosity, and its newfound allies, was ready to write those chapters. As the TSS Horizon disappeared into the depths of space, carrying with it the hopes and dreams of billions, a new chant began to spread across the globe, a rallying cry for this new era of human history. Ad astra per aspera, through hardships to the stars. The human adventure was just beginning.